Welcome to the Key to Growth podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you're in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success starting now.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the Key to Growth podcast. I'm your host, Jen McKee. And today we have a super special guest to talk about a super special event coming up. I have Carol Longacre. Carol, if people don't know who you are or what event I'm talking about, will you please let them know?
Well, absolutely. My name's Carol Longacre, like you said, and I am the Director of Affiliate Relations with Service Nation. Service Nation is a best practice company for HVAC, plumbing contractors, and the trades in general. And we also produce Service World Expo. So Service World Expo is being held in Las Vegas. I'm going to double check because I have so many things going on in October. I want to make sure I give you guys the right dates. The 26th through the 30th of October is when our show is going to be. We start on the 26th with the Joseph Grow golf tournament and like a VIP dinner for some of the, as the Director of Affiliate Relations, I work with the trade association. So I'm bringing in my directors this year, so that they can see the magic themselves of what Service World Expo is and what Service Nation does for trade contractors.
Okay. Love that. So how did you find yourself in Service Nation? Like, what was your background before you got there?
So my husband and I started a remodeling company in about 1990. We started dating. This is going to age me so much. Our first date was February 1st, 1986, and he's a carpenter by trade. And so we got married in 90, and we started a business then, and we've grown it all along. I found myself here because our son is 30, and about 10 years ago, he came to us and said, I tried the college thing. It's not really for me. You and Dad have built this foundation. You've built our community, and I really want to be part of Longacre Construction. Well, it didn't take very long for the three of us to realize that 3 long acres, that Longacre Construction is a lot.
Yeah.
And I happened to be in Rotary with Matt Michelle, the founder of Service Nation. And he goes, "Hey, you should come work for me." And a lot of people probably already heard the story. We were at a Rotary Christmas party, and in my mind, because if you know Matt Michelle, he's a Texas A&M engineer. And if you've listened to me for 3 seconds, you can tell that I am not. And I was like, "Oh, I'm a lot of personality. Are you sure you want that?" But yeah, here I am 7.5 years later, still at Service Nation. And he's not, I might add, he like retired or something cool like that.
Right. So what does the Director of Affiliate mean? Like, what is it that you do there?
So, Matt decided at one point that he wanted to go and support the trade associations. So we partner with about a little over 30 trade associations, and we support them and their members. So their members get limited free, like there's a free membership where they get limited access to some of our content and some of our marketing materials and stuff. And then I also work with the directors of each of those trade associations. I support events. I speak at their events. I go to their trade shows. We like I said, provide benefits for their members. So it's just a way to support the trades through the trade associations. I think a lot of contractors don't understand the value of a trade association and what they're really doing for them. A lot of people are like, "I don't have time for that." Well, behind the scenes, they're doing the things that you guys don't want to deal with necessarily. The government entities, the licensings, I was very, very active in the Builders Association. So I don't have a number like this for HVAC or plumbing, but I can tell you, like in the building world, the legislative is so important because every $1,000 that is tracked onto a home for fees or licensings or, whatever they want to charge, it displaces in the state of Texas 25 to 30,000 people from being able to afford that home.
Dang.
So I think people understand that, that your licensings and the government entities that put those rules and guidelines on there, they don't understand that either. And so your trade associations out there teaching them, teaching the legislators like what the outcome of that decision will be on our industry.
Yeah. So huge supporters of the industry, both on the one-to-one level, but then also on how it impacts overall.
Yeah. And we don't do, at Service Nation, we do a lot of education, but we don't do the technician training and then in the field training. So we like to turn that back to the trade associations who are doing the continuous education and the things that you need on the day to day. So we partner with them. We teach leadership and management and how to run your business at the higher level, but also, hey, you need to be part of your trade association, and here's why.
Yeah, very cool. So also just like shifting gears a second, because you told me you just got back from the John Maxwell event. So what is like your biggest takeaway from there, and how are you planning on using that with everything else that you already do?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. But I think on a personal note, I haven't always embraced my own personal financial. I mean, fortunately, we've done really well, and but like, there's so much more I could probably do, and also have a better relationship with my husband if I embraced it. So John Maxwell has started doing the financial side, so that from a personal perspective, but from a professional and what I can bring back to Service Nation is, first of all, or maybe I'll save that because we're going to move into the service world. So let's just building your brand. They talked a lot about that. They talked about leadership and how to lead your teams. John's just an amazing speaker. But yesterday was the live to lead part of his IMC, and Jesse Cole was one of our speakers, and just the energy of him and the way he talks about it and the way he presents his company. The one more thing he does like, I think there was 3 or 4 or 5 E's, but one of my main takeaways from him was like, do one more thing, bring something creative. They have a Tuesday meeting every Tuesday where everybody just brings creative ideas and they narrow it down. So like everybody, the players, the umpire guy, the office staff, like everybody comes and they all bring whatever crazy ideas that they can have, because it's fans first always. And so I think that, I get to teach a lot of the classes with the director of training, Chris Michelle, who, by the way, is to the end of this. Well, probably won't record today, but it's his birthday. So shout out, happy birthday. I get to do a lot of teaching with him. So I get to bring a lot of these things that I learn, not only my background of being a contractor, but also all these continuing education things that I get to learn back into the coaching. Like we get to go to Baltimore and coach one of our members in a couple of weeks. So I'll get to bring all that.
Yeah.
I'm doing a full day, the North Texas TACA, Air Conditioning Association is having a show soon. So I'm doing a full day on disc and leadership. So now I've got all this fresh new stuff that we learned at the Maxwell IMC Conference.
That's so cool. And
it was also cool. I got to hang with some of our some of our really good members that Jinju and Janine Norquist. Sorry about that, Janine. And I didn't get to see Angie, but she was there yesterday too. Angie Snow.
Yeah. And just so in case anyone's listening, you were talking about are they the owners or the general managers of the Savannah Bananas, which have been such a huge the founders,
all the things like he literally showed, he was doing the slides. He's like, they emptied their bank account. Like they showed a picture of their air mattress that they were sleeping on while they were following this dream.
Yeah.
And continue to go after their dreams. So I think that's also an energy I get to bring back to the contractors that are part of Service Nation or who aren't part of Service Nation, but will get to attend Service World Expo with us in Las Vegas.
Yeah. And so just thinking about it from like a marketing perspective, and as someone who worked in marketing, I'm always so highly inspired by these people that take a chance. And so I think that's what the Savannah Bananas did, is like they really saw things that weren't working and were like, how could we reimagine this in a way that would be new and exciting and attract new people? And so is that like, how do you think that contractors could apply that to what they do every day?
I think one of his biggest messages was like, everything we tried didn't work. So they had to like he's like literally kept giving examples. And I was telling my husband, he picked me up from the airport, and I was like, Dan, he even said like the first jerseys that they purchased were green. And he said, well, we weren't right yet. You know, like they use even their mistakes in their marketing and to get ahead. And they also showing their vulnerability becomes such a loved entity, right? When they were at the stadium, they talked that he was at the football stadium when the Bananas played, and everybody said, you're not going to be able to do this because you can't keep creating that customer culture over and over again as you get bigger and bigger. And again, he brought all of his staff up into the top of the stadium and said, this is where our fans are. Like, how are we going to make our fans? And from a marketing perspective, the coach whipped out some thank you notes and started writing thank you notes. And then the players did. So they put thank you notes on I don't know if every, but they put thank you notes in the upper parts of the stands. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Like they call all their people. He talks about how when they first started ordering tickets, how they made it such a video, and he showed the video, and he was like, I'm really embarrassed by it, but it was marketing, right? I think that's what got him. You're right on point. That's what got them where they're at. They just kept doing it and showing up and marketing over and over. They spend $0 on marketing. They put all of their money into their fans. And so I think from a trades perspective, that if we looked at our customers like that, like, I mean, I would say don't market, like don't say that, but I'm just saying if you do things like, oh, sorry. Oh, I'm at the office.
It's okay.
If you do things like, take that extra step, whatever that might be, and I hope Janine's not mad at me for doing this, but it was something that she came up with. She's like, she can have her guys call and say, hey, I'm on my way. Can I pick you up anything? Be a cup of coffee or a bottle of water, or, like just one extra step, that one extra thing that you could do for your client experience.
Oh, that's so good. Is there anything like in y'all's family remodeling company, or just that you've seen contractors do throughout the years that, I mean, you just mentioned a really great one, but strategies that really made a difference in your marketing out of the box, or maybe things that people thought were going to work but didn't?
We are very customer oriented, right? Like we have always, my husband for a long, long time was like, we don't need to market. We're word of mouth, just like every other contractor you've heard, right. Especially our age. Now that we're becoming second generation, they do a lot of personalized things, but we, as a remodeling company, you are, you're in their home. So if we're remodeling their kitchen, we will set them up and have for a long time. We will set them up a kitchen. Like here's going to be the thing where you're going to live. Like, so we keep that in mind. And we always say, make sure our trade contractors know, and you can't just, and we have HVAC and plumbing contractors here too. We make sure our trade contractors and our staff and the people who are in these people's homes know that this is their home. We're working in their home. They are not living in our job site. So you have to be conscientious of that. Like there's people who, after we finish remodel, I miss having my morning coffee with Jimmy. Or I need Jimmy to come by and have a cup of coffee with me.
Oh, I love that. I think the Savannah Bananas are such a great example of like customer experience and client experience is a part of your marketing. That's like what makes people remember you and talk about you and want to want to call you back. I mean, it's a huge part of it. And marketing isn't like this bad word of like how we're going to dupe people into working with us. It's like the experience that your brand and your company puts out there to attract people to who you are and what it is that you're doing. So I think those are some really great examples. So I kind of want to move on to the event. So super excited. We're recording this about 2 months out, spending a lot of time in Vegas coming up. But so this is the 10th anniversary. Have you been to all of them? You've been there since the beginning?
It was so funny when they were talking about the 10th anniversary. I was like, wow, that's a lot. And then I stopped. I was like, oh, wait, I've been to 7 of them.
Right.
Like I've been here this long. I've been to all of the first few.
Yeah. But what can people expect that's going to be different this year than any other year?
I think there's lots of our party. Like, if y'all know me, I'm going to go straight to the parties and then I'll back. Our show producer, Dolores, I get to spend a lot of time with her because she comes to some of my events with me too. And I didn't get until probably the last couple of years, I started really spending a lot of time with her. All the care. She learns our industry so that she brings you guys the things that you want and that you want to hear and what you like. She went to a plumbing show with me in Texas just so she could sit at the booth with me and talk to the contractors and hear what they need, what they want to hear. So, we broke them out into the 2 sizes before, and we plan on doing that again. Dolores is bringing the legislative aspect to educate people on how that affects you. But really our social is, if I've heard through the industry, I go to a lot of things and I've heard what we do different at Service Station, what we do different at Source World Expo is relationships. We are a relationship company. We have our AB groups, which is our board of directors kind of groups, and our parties and things. So the networking that you get at our events, we serve you breakfast and we serve you lunch and we have happy hours and we have parties. We also have opportunities for networking, after the show in different places. We have a, newbie. I think that's a right way to say it. Happy hour. So anyone who hasn't been to our show or doesn't know about who we are, or, has that opportunity to go to happy hour. That's just them, because there's a lot of seasoned pros there and they're going to have a lot of information for you. I was on, I think I was on a podcast with Tom, and Tom's like, yeah, get in there and talk to them and just walk up to people. And as a DIS certified person, I was like, okay, for all you S&Cs that we just gave a heart attack to, you don't have to just jump in there and talk to everybody. There's places for you so there are places for us high I's and high D people to get in there and get the party going. But also for the people who don't necessarily love that. Yeah. One-on-one conversations, like, how did you get here? And how did you have you grown? Have you utilized these tools? I spoke at that PHCC event I talked about. I got to be their keynote. And one of the things that I brought away from my own speech was, these kind of events matter. The person to person events really matter. Mm-hmm. And I said this and that. You can download and watch all the how-to YouTubes you want to do, but you can't download the wisdom that you're going to get in a face-to-face meeting, the relationships that you create, the bonded. Our members are bonded. They're brothers and sisters, and they call each other, they take care of each other, especially our women, our AB80 women. But the people who are in the same group, they take care of each other. They want to see each other succeed. And I think that's where our magic lies.
Yeah. I think there's I think what's interesting is that as AI becomes more and more prevalent, and it makes things easier, it makes it faster for us to write things or respond back to people, or even feel like you don't have to have a conversation with someone because you can just talk through it with ChatGPT. But I think that makes it being in person so much more important and impactful. Like you said, being able to actually meet somebody, talk to somebody, hear something that inspires you that you never would have even stepped into or known about unless you're being somewhere. So I think I love that. I think that what you said is totally true about there's all different types of ways that people interact. So you don't have to be
and there's all those opportunities for you to interact the way that makes you feel comfortable. Now, I'm not telling you don't stretch your rubber band a little bit and get a little bit uncomfortable.
Right.
But, if you are a little bit comfortable, it's easier to stretch that rubber band and step outside of that comfort zone a little bit.
For sure. So, okay, you go to a lot of events. So you're both like on the organizing side, but also as an attendee. But what's like one of your favorite moments or things that you remember about Service World Expo that really stands out to you?
Oh, my long-term best one?
Maybe.
Wow. I'm also trying to remember if it was Service World Expo or we have a spring event. So I was like, make sure I say the Service World Expo one and not the spring event, because a lot of my memories are the spring events that we have created. But I really do think that there's not just one moment. It's the relationships I have built through the years, the education I've learned, that not only for me, but I get to bring it back to my family business, right? And I get to share it with other contractors. Being a conduit of that energy and that education is very much a privilege for me. Mm-hmm. I very much want to be a go-to person for our members, for other people who are not our members, and being able to go there and meet them and see people in action and see their excitement and what they learn is just, that's what it is. That's why I do it. Like, I do it because that's what I love. I love the people. I know people say that, but I like the personal growth that I get, and that I get to share it with everybody else, and that the people I get to share it with are also super excited about their personal and business growth.
Yeah.
I didn't really answer your question on one time, but
no, I mean, you bring up a really great point. I think it's all like exponential compounding on each other. It's hard to say. I'm not someone who can be like, oh, this is my favorite thing. It's like I can pull a whole bunch of reasons why I loved all of these things, but it's hard for me to be biased on one thing.
Well, and I'm also ADHD, so I may not just remember it right now. Like, I remember I read something where I was like, I can go to an event and I can run the whole event, but don't ask me where I parked my car at the end of that event.
Yeah. Because your brain was someplace else when you got out. That happens to me all the time. I'm like, dang, I probably should have thought about what I was doing before I just started.
Yeah. Like, where am I? When you're on your phone and you're looking for your phone? Has anyone seen my phone?
I know. For real. Okay. So we talked a little bit about networking, but for someone who's coming for the first time or maybe just isn't really comfortable in networking, what is some advice that you would give them to make the most of it?
I would say take some time and plan out your show. Look at the show schedule. Maybe even research who the speakers are, like what they've done, they are. And if you want, and Tom and I offered this up on a webinar we had not too long ago, call us at Service Nation and let us help you call me directly or email me directly and let me help you walk through it and tell you, I will tell you who they are, what their is, but make a plan. And, Dan and I, when we first started, we're broke. We're 20-something-year-olds and we're starting a business and starting families. And so we went to our very first trade show and we were broke. Like, we had parents keeping our kids back at home. And we're like, what are we doing here? And let's divide and conquer. Like, you go do this track and I'll go do this track, and then we'll come back and we'll make a plan. And we got back to the room. We're like, oh my gosh, we didn't exactly say that, but I'm making it for oh my gosh, we're doing everything wrong. And so don't let yourself do that either. Like, pick something in your company that you want to work on. And if you're the owner and you want to work on knowing your numbers, then do financials. Or if you're marketing, then do that and concentrate on that. Don't try to do all of it, but make a plan and schedule it out and go to the shows. And just because we do it in volume, like 0 to 3 million, 3 to 5, I don't, but just because if it's in a volume that you don't want to be, that you want to be in, go to it. Yeah. If you're in one of the bigger volumes, but sometimes it's ready to get back to the basics, go to that. Like, there's so much, and there's been so much thought put into this content to help you grow your business. put some time into it and schedule it. And like I said, I will take your call or email or whatever. And if I can't answer your question, I know a lot of smart people who can. So let us help you plan that.
I think that's such great advice. Like, don't worry so much. Like sometimes, those tracks are there to organize the content. And also, if you don't know where to go, like this is a good place for you to look at, like give some context to whatever it is, but that it isn't like a rule. Like you can't go here if you're not in this sales revenue bracket like that. It's
really
just
2.99. We can't go to the $3 billion one.
Yeah, but I love that. Like if this is where you want to be, go there. I mean, there's so much value in being around people who are where you want to be, but also everybody has that thing that they're not as good at. And even though you may not be the person doing it, it's always better if you have a little bit of clarity on what it should be. So I think that that's great advice. So if someone's like on the fence about whether they should attend or not, what's one reason that they can't afford not to be there?
I think really just getting started. Like if you've been before and you're like, it didn't serve you, we have changed a lot. So give us another chance, right? There's a lot of new staff, a lot of new opportunities. Quite frankly, we are part of EverCommerce now. I don't know if people know that. Like we were independent for a long time. And Matt and David sold of EverCommerce. EverCommerce has created an EverPro section, and now we're part of that. So they are investing in us, and they are giving us resources to help us grow and to help bring in other our sister companies. So there's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of new energy. So if you haven't gone before, or if you have gone before, and you think you have outgrown us, give us another try. If you haven't come, then come and be part of the group and what you can learn and the partners you can meet. I haven't even talked to you about the partners that will be there. They've done an outstanding job of inviting people who will help, who are also they want to sell you their product, but they honestly believe that their product is going to help you grow your business. So they will educate you on your business and on why that product is or is not right for you. Like, that's how it is. Like this is another age thing. It literally, my son was like, but we don't do this. We don't do that. And I was like, Rhett, our dad doesn't do this and dad doesn't do that. I was like, Rhett, you have to remember, I literally talked your dad into giving up the yellow pad and starting to use QuickBooks 30 years ago. We went from yellow pad to QuickBooks, and now you have AI. So there's a huge difference. And for you multi-generational kids out there, give your dad some slack, man. They came off the yellow pad into the QuickBooks. And that's something that we address, like the generational, how we learn and how you guys want to learn and grow and such. So the marketing for that, it's all there.
I think that that's super great insight that, we just because like you mentioned, Service World Expo is an expo too. So there is a lot of, vendors. Is that the right word? Or
we call them partners, but they're vendors too. They're
okay.
The people who tell us. Yeah.
You're so right. And like, you're a business owner. I'm a business owner. Many people listening to this are like, there are a ton of products that I need and services that I need in order to be more efficient and more effective and save time and do things more professionally. And like going to something like Service World Expo where you're exposed to all of the options is also incredible, on top of the education, on top of the networking, like being able to see what's out there, learn about what could make your life. It's like could literally change your life. Like, there's so many things that we right. I truly like QuickBooks is a great example. And that seems so obvious. I feel like, well, yeah, of course we need QuickBooks, but like if you're not invoicing people, if you're not like keeping your books together, you're literally losing money in your business. And
QuickBooks won't be there, I don't think, y'all. But I mean, that was a 30-year-old example where we like I don't need any account. I can just write that down,
right.
no way we could function without QuickBooks.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is great insight. Okay.
And you also learn from other contractors about the products that they're using, and they will take you to that booth and say, hey, here's my friend, so-and-so, they need this product.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's such a great mindset shift. Like in the other day, I'm in a text thread with this group of really incredible women. And one of them was asking like, hey, should I send a finance link? Like, should I send all my open invoices a finance link? Like a text that's like, hey, by the way, we offer financing if you want to do that. And someone's response was, absolutely, that could be the answer to their prayers. And like that to me was the best mindset shift of like, oh my gosh, like here you are as a business owner thinking like, well, I don't want to like pressure them. And you're forgetting that you're offering a solution to someone who might desperately need a new HVAC or a new, pipe, repipe or whatever that is. And you're offering them a solution. And so that's what you want to go into. Even like a vendor situation or a partner situation is like, this could be completely life-changing for you. And
you know what you just did for me? Like I've worked for Service Nation for 7 years, right? But when Dan and I started, the reason we're still married and still have a company is because we joined a best practice group.
Yeah.
We did through the Builders Association, but we joined a best practice group, right? That's why I'm here. Like, because I believe I mixed the Kool-Aid. Like I'm all about best practice groups. I'm all about trade associations. Like this job could not have been specially created for me any better. But I often don't say, hey, you need Service Nation. Because I'm like, well, here we are. You know what we do. If you need us, call us. Right. I don't but I am where I am because I took that step and someone, told me about it.
Saved your marriage, saved your business.
Yeah. I mean,
it's crazy. I love that. Look at that.
Mindset is everything.
For sure. So on that note, what I want to end with is a couple things. So we do have like our question that we always end with, but before we get to that, number one, I'm actually on a panel with you, Carol, at Service World Expo. So we're on a panel together about the future of HVAC, I believe on the 20. Ooh, I should have looked that up first.
Well, I wrote down all my calendar, but my calendar at Service World Expo is so crazy. No, I didn't. I only have the parties written down.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Write down the parties. Like I have to be there. Like it is a costume party. That's why I need to promote. Like if you guys are coming,
like a Halloween party.
Well, the party at Dre's on Tuesday night is a costume party. They have some prizes and stuff for different categories, and that's all on our website. And Jasmine wanted me to make sure that y'all know that she just updated that website and all the information's there. So go see it.
Okay. So, Carol and I are on a panel about the future of HVAC, which I will be talking about marketing and AI. Carol, what is your topic on that? Do you know?
The moderator.
Perfect. But we also have some really great other people on that panel. And then Key to Growth podcast will also be live podcasting there, I believe on... Darn it. I should have had these dates in front of me.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't do my homework. I haven't done my Service World Expo homework yet because I have about eight shows before that one.
I feel you. Okay, we can edit this part out. I'll tell them at the end while I look for this.
You'll need to. And I actually I pulled the
costume party. Okay, so it's actually going to be on the 29th.
I had two panels. That's why I can't answer your question. I'm sorry.
Okay. Time in. Okay. So I will be on a panel with Carol as the moderator on the 29th at 8 a.m. This is about the future of the trades. So I'll be joined by Mike Rowan, Dr. Stephen Hapel, and Sean Robertson. So we've got... the ACA Vice President, Professor of Economics, retired utility director, and then myself and Carol will be talking about emerging technologies, workforce evolution, policy advocacy, sustainability and green initiatives, and economic outlook. And then after that, I actually have another time on stage where I'm talking about
here's the agenda.
I'm looking at it. Oh, AI powered social media. So creating better content using the 3S strategy. That's from 9:45 to 10:45. And then the Key to Growth podcast will also be live podcasting there during lunch, I believe on Tuesday. So be sure to look for us there. So Carol, if someone just wants more information about the expo, where should they connect with you? Where should they go to learn more about the event?
The website is updated. So go to the Service World Expo website, but also if you need to contact me or if you want to contact me, feel free to contact me. My email address is clongacre@servicenation.com. And I can, like I said, if I don't have your answer, I can direct you to the right person who does have your answer.
Perfect. And then for our listeners here, we have a special promo code. Key KEE 100 will be available for use before October 10th. Okay, so as we leave here, we like to ask everybody the question, which is, what is the key to growth?
Marketing.
What do you think the key to growth is?
I think the key to growth is it's hard not to say mindset and leadership right now, coming back off of a John Maxwell event and going that extra mile. Like, you just have to continue to go the extra mile.
I love that. Well, I can't wait to see you in Vegas for Service World Expo. And thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having us.